Hello there. You are someone, I'm someone else, and today, I just made a video, like a special Valentine's video. But right now, we're gonna be talking about something different. Okay, we're gonna be talking about something different. You are someone, I'm someone else, and today we're gonna be talking about endangered languages. There are many of these endangered languages in the world. We got the Basque language, we got the Kent language, we got the Carlos's language in New Mexico. We got the Navajo language. We have the 19 official languages of Alaska. These languages are dying. And it is very, very sad to me that these languages are dying. They're very, very unique. And they're very, very interesting. It's sad that English and Russian are replacing all these languages. Now, not to be bestow against those languages. Like, English and Russian are very, very nice languages. Right? Chinese, another perfect example. They've replaced so many language isolates in China. The Manchuria language, perfect example. It pretty much died. I think it died out in the 18th century. Could be wrong. There might be a few people that speak it left. I don't know, I'm just thinking about languages. The Kai languages in South China are endangered. It's just very, very sad, right? These languages are dying out. And there's also 37 different language isolates in Papua New Guinea. And I'm sure they'll die out as soon as their villages get related to other languages. There was one click language in Australia, the only click language in South Africa, that died out. That's very, very unique. And there are no other click languages outside Africa. Not that we know of, anyway. But, yeah. It's very, very hard to find languages like the ones we did in Australia, like Kent. Kent, you had a language family around it, but the entire language family is dead now. It's the only one left of its whole language family. We should do our best to revive Kent. Now, Kellogg's the only city, that's the only village, mind you, that speaks Kent left in their schools. And so we should do our best to not only revive Kent, but to make more schools speak it. So it becomes a first language again. It should be revived like Hebrew, right? Basque, it's the first language for 6,000 people. That's not enough. It needs, or to revive Basque to its full extent, it needs to be the first language of 10,000 people in order to be really, really safe. There's only 6,000 people in the world that only speak Basque, and not the Spanish, right? That is very, very sad. I bet you most of those Basque speakers are probably speaking to people who speak Spanish and Basque. If they want to know how the outside world works, they're going to have to learn the other languages too. And, is it sad that they don't know any other language? Yeah. But is it cool that they speak such a unique language and their worldview is so different from ours? It's absolutely amazing. They don't even have split ergativity. They have full ergativity in Basque. That's incredible. I bet you even Kent probably has full ergativity. I'm not 100% certain on that. But I know the Indian languages have split ergativity, so depending on the subject, like first person pronoun it doesn't, but then second person it does. It's a whole mess, right? With ergativity in the Indian languages, right? But that's amazing. The fact that there are 6,000 people to speak this very, very mysterious old language and nobody knows where it comes from. We know where the European languages come from. They come from the steppes. We don't know where the Basque language came from. But most of those words probably originated from the natives who lived in Spain for thousands of years. Now, who knows, right? I could be entirely wrong on that, right? Nobody knows. No linguist knows. Which is the fascinating thing. The Uralic languages, there's one Uralic language where they have vowel harmony. Right? So, they are, 6,000 miles away, right? You got the Uralic languages in the middle. You got the Samoyeds, and then you got the Finnish and the Estonians. Finnish and Estonians are notorious for having vowel harmony. Hungarians don't have vowel harmony anymore. They got rid of it, right? But while the Finnish and the Estonians have vowel harmony, the middle languages don't. And then this endangered language over here, that's also related to Finnish and Hungarian, has vowel harmony. Think about it. A grammar structure that is very, very uncommon in the Uralic languages survived in that old language and Finnish and Estonian inside of Russia, and it's 5,000 miles away from Finnish and Estonian, and they haven't had contact for thousands of years. That is fascinating. They've been able to keep the conservative nature of their language. That is fascinating. And there's actually a newscaster who speaks it, but obviously it's been replaced by mostly Russian. But very, very cool language, right? I love the language of Russia. They're very, very unique. There's a guy, he talks about the language of Russia. He talks about the grammar structure of Russian languages. And these Russian languages so different. And again, they're a lot like the Native American languages. They're so complicated in the way they're not analytical like English. English is very, very easy. If you can get the right word order, you get the right grammar. Obviously, the word order is a little wonky sometimes, but it is a good language to learn. If you want to learn how to communicate with other people, it's fine, right? But I would try your best to speak your native language, because once it's gone forever. If you and your family and only a handful of families know your language, like the Kent language is almost all dead. Everybody over 65 is the only ones to speak it left, right? I don't want that to be the situation with my language, English, or even Icelandic, or, there's so many languages out there where Icelandic's not endangered because the entire country speaks Icelandic, but you get the point. Basque is a perfect example of a language being threatened by the over community of Spain, right? Now, again, they have their own Basque country or whatever, Basque region. So they do have an official regional language. But that being said, right, they're still being threatened by the fact that the monarchy speaks Spanish. Like, the monarchy doesn't have that much connection to Basque. Obviously the parliament has to speak Basque somewhat in order to function. They made it a law. I believe Ireland's made it a law to speak Irish in their parliament, even though I think only 20% of them cannot speak fluent Irish. Like, that language is dying out too. Welsh in Wales is actually it's less endangered than Irish, surprisingly. Even though Irish, I would arguably, is genetically more Celtic, or I feel like it is anyway. Welsh in Wales is actually less endangered. There are more people who speak Welsh, even outside of Wales. There are more people that speak Welsh. There are Welsh Canadians. There are Welsh Argentinians. There's entire villages in Argentina that speak Welsh, right? Like, that is incredible to me that this endangered language in the United Kingdom, where English originates, has Welsh. It's still right next to the border of England. Cornish is dying, but it's being revived as we speak. But all the native speakers died of Cornish. The last speaker of Cornish died, and then they slowly revived it again. So it's not a very useful language because everybody who speaks Cornish speaks English. Again, the 18th century was the last time the last native Cornish speaker died out. I think we have their names somewhere recorded on a history book. It's fine, right? Not a big issue. But I want to make this video to really, really hone the focus on these endangered languages that nobody talks about. These endangered language families, language isolates are very, very fascinating to me. Click languages with wonky case systems. Language isolates are the most confusing thing to me. The fact that Papua New Guinea has the most languages in the world, and despite it only having 5 million people, I think, in the whole country, or less than that, just weird things like that. Like, there are languages that we don't even know the language family of. We're just assuming they're part of it. So yeah. Anyway, you are someone, I am someone else. Talking about language families and languages, and goodbye.